All right, round 2. Here's where we're going to start doing some math review. Talk about our standard units and what are the units for velocity, acceleration, force. Units are important. Units are important, guys, right? If I tell you I'm 33 old, right? I mean, am I 33 seconds old? 33 years old? 33 light years old, right? Some of those make sense, some of them don't. Give you a hint, this is an old document. I'm not 33 years old anymore, but I am still 67 tall. But 67 what? Feet? Inches? Centimeters? Right? I own a $2,000 house. A $2,000 house, Dr. Ray? Yeah, I bet you $2,000 house, right? Or more like your mortgage is $2,000. But anyway, the meaning of the sentence is vague. It's unclear until units are stated. Okay, I'm 33 years old. I'm 67 inches tall. I own a 2,000 square foot house, not square yard house, not square mile house, 2,000 square foot house. Right? Now you have context. It makes more sense as opposed to having to making assumptions. Bottom line, units are important. You just can't stick a number in there. When you go from your symbol, x1, to a value, you have to include the value and the unit, right? So there's 3 basic units in physics, and all others are just combinations of these essentially 3 basic units. So there's more basic units, but these are the ones that we'll essentially work with in class, right? We have time, which is seconds, length, which is meters, mass, which is kilograms. We'll have more units such as watts or joules, or we'll see newtons here, but a newton isn't a fundamental unit. It's made up of, it's comprised of these fundamental guys. So let's just work through some problems here. What are the units for velocity given the formula for velocity below? So we have a velocity formula, length divided by time. With units, those follow all of our math rules as well. So the unit for velocity is the unit for length, which is meters, and divided by the unit for time, which is seconds. Ta-da! Well done, right? Meters per second. Now, it's just, your distance doesn't have to be meters. It could be miles. It could be feet, right? Seconds could be hours, right? So you have miles per hour. It's a velocity. How far are you going every second? How far are you going per this unit time? But this is our standard unit, right? Called SI unit. So unless it specifies, question specifies answer in miles per hour, etc., home base, meters per second. Let's talk about acceleration. Maybe I'll change up colors here. We'll go to red, right? Velocity divided by time. Okay, so what's the unit for velocity? Well, I found that up above. That's meters per second. Okay, and I divide that whole thing by time, which is seconds. Now, what do you get here, right? I'm either going to get meter second per second, but then my seconds would divide out and I just end up with meter, right? And that doesn't make sense because acceleration is not a length. So what happens here? Sometimes I like to rewrite these when I have fractions. I like to rewrite them. So I have meters divided by second over 1. This is equal to what I call copy the numerator, change the division to multiplication, and then you flip the denominator. So it's 1 over seconds. And so now you just multiply across. Meters times 1 is meter. Second times second is second squared. So meters per second squared is the fundamental unit for acceleration. What are the units for force given the force formula below? Force equals mass times acceleration. Give it a try. All right, here we go. Let's see how you did. Well, I mean, you probably have the answer, right? But we have kilogram, that's mass, acceleration, meter per second squared, right? You could say this is kilogram over 1 if you want to. Multiply just across, multiply your numerator, multiply your denominator, you get a kilogram meter per second squared. This is the fundamental unit, but we call this, out of respect for Sir Isaac Newton, the Newton. So So when you see a N, such as 50 newtons, you could also write that as 50 kilograms meter per second squared. And these are our standard units. I'm going to clear this. You can always rewind if you're not there. And then we're on to our next round.